This is a rarity, a TV show that has been deleted, erased by the streaming site for which it was created. Not only gets a second life, but now a third life via DVD and Blu-ray. Let's talk about Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. This is a prequel series to, of course, the very, very popular movie musical of the 70s, which, of course, was also based on the stage show. But this premiered earlier this year on Paramount Plus, and just a couple of weeks after the final episode premiered, episode 10, it was gone from Paramount Plus. It no longer existed. That was happening a lot this year, specifically with Paramount Plus and HBO Max deleting a lot of content. But it popped up then a couple of weeks later on demand. So you could see Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies if you wanted to pay the extra money to do that. And now it has been given a third life. You can now get it on DVD and Blu-ray. That is very rare for a streaming show. Usually if it's a streaming original and they delete it, well, that's it. It's gone forever. But in this case, you have several other chances to catch this thing, and that's how I was able to watch it. So before we get into the specifics of this show, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. We do movie and TV reviews here, and I try to post something new just about every day. So always a lot of stuff to check out on the channel. Please consider subscribing. Even maybe hit that notification bell down below. Would love to have you do that, and that way you get alerted for all my new video drops. And the playlist on the homepage will tell you, if there's too much to sift through with my videos. There's 2023 movie reviews, 2023 TV reviews, and some other playlists as well to check out. All right, so let's get to this one, Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. Now, full disclosure here, I am not a huge fan of the movie Grease. I do like the music. The music is great, obviously, and I know the bits and everything, but it just always seemed very corny to me. And, look, it was at a time period when we were looking back at the 50s. Happy Days was one of the biggest shows on TV. So it makes sense that Grease would have been such a big hit. And, Travolta obviously coming off of his Barbarino character on Welcome Back, Kotter, which was a breakout for him. So the timing was just right for that movie. But, when I first saw it in probably the late 80s, I guess. I just thought it was very corny. But the music holds up. The music is great. So this is obviously a more female-oriented show. This is the Rise of the Pink Ladies, so it explains to us how the Pink Ladies came about and some of the forebearers of that group. And we even have so the main sort of character here is Marissa Davila plays Jane Facciano, who is the older sister of Frenchie. Of course, we know the Frenchie character from the film. I don't know. Look, I'm not familiar enough with the Grease lore to know, if there are any other tie-ins. I'm sure there's some winks and nods to some things in the movie, but I didn't really pick up on that. But I at least knew about Frenchie. So I got that. But some of the other people here, I really don't know most of the gals that play the students here. Cheyenne Isabel, Trisha Fukuhara, Chanel Bailey, Ari Notros Masso. The only person I really know here is the assistant principal. Jackie Hoffman plays her, and we've seen her in many, many things over the years. Most recently, I guess, in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and Only Murders in the Building. She was in both of those shows, so you will probably recognize her from something or other. But she is eventually the principal in Grease, but here she is the assistant principal. So there's sort of another tie-in character. But this basically, tells the story of the first female high school gang at Rydell High, known as the Pink Ladies, and sort of their origins. And this is a 10-episode miniseries. I didn't watch all the episodes, so I don't know if it leaves on a cliffhanger. It was, I think, supposed to be a regular series, and they were maybe hoping for other seasons, but it was axed after that first season. So I don't know if it ends on a cliffhanger or not. I did not get that far into it. But for the episodes I did review, I actually kind of enjoyed this. I think they shied away from some of the corniness that made Grease so popular. Now, that may turn off some people that loved Grease. I don't know. For me, it actually made this more enjoyable. I thought they had really well-rounded, interesting characters, as you do in 2023. They did sort of completely sort of dismiss the era, though, and that is a little bit more mixed for me. I understand, look, it's 2023. I understand, we want to be diverse in our casting and everything, but, this is a very, very, very diverse school for the 1950s, for sure. And unlike something like A League of Their Own, recently on Amazon Prime, which, of course, was also based on a movie, they, really dove right into the sort of racism of the time and all that, and the sexism of the time and that kind of thing. Here we do definitely see some of the sexism, but some of the other aspects of, school life in the 50s, I think were just completely kind of swept under the rug, and, oh, well, let's make this more of, an all-inclusive thing, which I get, it's fine, but it does sort of give a little bit of pause of like, okay, well, I guess we really are suspending our disbelief that, all of these people are just welcomed with open arms in the 50s. I don't know. I would have maybe liked a little bit of, some of that diversity that they, or adversity, I should say, that they suffered in the 50s, if you were not, a white person, let's be real. But look, I get it. That's not what this show is, and that's not what it wants to be. So, okay. So let's move to the music. The music is a little more middling for me as well. I think it is one of the weaker elements. There's been a lot of TV show musicals lately, the last few years, especially with the advent of streaming. And, for every great one like Schmigadoon, where the songs are super memorable and all of that, there are a lot more like this where the songs are sort of nice to hear and everything, but you don't leave the episode, humming any of them or anything like that. They're fine, and they serve the story. The lip syncing and the I don't know how auto-tuned it is, but it does come like sort of out of nowhere. Like they'll just start singing and then the whole audio tone changes and all of that. I don't love that. But look, overall, I thought this was a really actually compelling show. And for somebody who doesn't really care for Grease, I was a bit shocked by that, to be honest. It's one of the reasons I sort of, when it first came out, I was like, oh, I'll get to it eventually. And then when Paramount Plus took it off, I was like, okay, I guess I won't get to it eventually. But now that it's available for home consumption, either on demand or on DVD, I figured why not give it a go. And the acting here is really good. The sense of humor is really good. And yeah, there is definitely the sexism tones from that time period that, for all intents and purposes still kind of carry through today. But definitely sort of that, jock, popular crew, leading the way, and the girls sort of being pushed aside and all of this. Look, we've seen it 100 times before, but still kind of relevant, right? And it's portrayed here very well. And I love Jackie Hoffman as the assistant principal, is certainly one of the shining characters, even though she's not the focus. She is certainly one of the reasons to enjoy this. I just wish the music was a little bit better, and maybe the commentary a little more biting about how life was in the 1950s. But I like the core cast of characters a lot. Good performers here. Not sure if we'll see them in anything in the future, but possibly. They all sort of gelled pretty well. So I leave Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies with a B-, and you can check this out now at home, on demand, or on DVD. Thanks for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.